So, Twin Star Exorcist is starting to get really interesting again, in my opinion, because we have the 2 year time skip. The anime is not strictly following the manga, like at all. These past two episodes, about the time skip, they have essentially nothing to do at all with the manga, so the manga readers have no idea what's gonna happen. I Even in Wikipedia, there's no usually there's titles of episodes like further along, like a month along. I was expecting to read a title for episode 26, but I couldn't really find anything like that on Wikipedia. But with in terms of what this video is about, the episode 23 preview and the manga spoilers, which uh, I will be talking about as well. What happened in episode 22 is pretty interesting because we got the introduction of a new basara, and we also got the introduction of a new character that Arima mentioned, Kuranashi. But first, I'd like to talk about the new basara. Now, in chapter 28 of the uh, Sosei no Omioji manga, Twin Star Exorcist manga, uh, there was a short flashback between what Rokuro had on what Shimon, the Heavenly Commander, said. He was saying that Shimon was saying, I'm pretty sure it was 11, right? Or Rokuro said that, and then Shimon said, right, starting from the strongest, there's Chinos Sakanashi, Gabura, Hijirimaru, Shirome, Kaguya, Gaja, Shioji, Higano, Yuzuriha, and 11th is Kamui. So the 11th and then the weakest and the youngest boss star is Kamui, which is the same one that Rokuro and Benyo fought 2 years ago. And it took, resonance. It took the World End overlay, which they called it later on the World End overlay attack, which didn't manage to exercise Kamui either. But we have this new Basra who, her name, whom she calls herself, is Suzu, Suzu. And looking at the Basra and looking at their names, you can look at the chapter itself, but I'm not actually seeing like anyone that looks like Suzu right now, except for maybe the 10th Basara, Yuzu with the Y, Yuzu Riha. Maybe she in the anime she shortened her name to Suzu, but in a sense, in general, in terms of overall power, that means that Yuzuriha or Suzu is actually a tiny step above Kamui, which is pretty insane to think, knowing that the Bossar in general can only be one-on-one by a Heavenly Commander, and a Heavenly Commander is one of the 12 best in the world, exorcists in the world. And, excuse me. And in terms of what Arima said about Kuranash and how I shouldn't have let him get away, and this is a great mistake. Won't let it happen again. Heavenly Commanders, be prepared to be worked to death. And I was looking at the list of the Basra again. I was looking at them, and then the first one is Chinu, and the second one is Sakanash. And I'm like, okay, it's Sakanash, not Kuranash, but then again, there are translation errors that I know happen quite often between the manga and or anime. And so I was thinking there's a possibility that what Arima was talking about between about Kuranash, he was actually talking about Sakanash in the manga, at least in the translation I'm reading, which is the Kiss manga translation. And basically, it seems like in this case, from episode 23 and beyond, we're going to see dragon spots caused by, well, we may not actually see in the process of them being caused, the dragon spots being caused by basara, but it seems like the second strongest basara, in other words, the second strongest kegare in general, Sakanash or Kuranash, is creating these dragon spots. So I am really interested because it seems like we have at least two basara that are, roaming around and being active and being active on the mainland instead of being on the island where they the I assume the basara usually are, because usually the basara and kegare are fighting it out with the Exorcists and the Heavenly Commanders in Kyoto and etc. So I looked at the title for the next episode, "Hard to Be Mother." Uh, I think it said "Go West," "Hard to Be Mother, Go West" or something like that. And I don't really know how that would apply to this video, but I was just wanting to, let you guys know that there's possibly two Basara involved. These two Basara, one of them is will most likely be the second strongest. The other one will be stronger than Kamui, one step above Kamui, and that's I really wonder. I'm really interested in their unique personalities and the Basara in general and what they're doing on the mainland instead of at the forefront, the front lines at the island. And that's essentially all I have to say for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're having a great day. And this is Burn Through Reality, blazing out.